Hello, welcome to A Week in Walford, the EastEnders review show presented by two people who weren't invited to Honey's Safari Supper. I'm David Brown.
And I'm Johnathon Hughes.
This week's headlines: Ben discovers the truth,
School's out for Mr Pryce,
and the Queen Vic Blue Peter appeal. Well, first up we had Ben finding out about Wilma Brown raping his mum, Kathy, and there was a showdown at Wayland Towers in the Sky.
Cloud City.
How did you feel that went? For me, it felt like Ben was up here, Wilma Brown was down there, and never the twain did meet in terms of tempo.
Very different tempos.
Yeah.
Ben was very angry and had a lot of shouting and was in the face. What was he brandishing?
A hammer.
A hammer. Quite a small hammer.
Toffee hammer.
He'd had a little bit of toffee on the tube on the way there, and he just had it in his pocket. So he had a small sweet hammer.
Yeah.
And Wilma Brown was being very kind of cool, calm and collected. And very,
He dodged it Matrix style. Did you notice that one?
Bullet time.
He did.
No, the toffee hadn't got it. He goes,
whoa! I love that. Yeah.
So it was quite strange. He's really creepy, isn't he, Wilma Brown? What I did feel as well, you know how then Wilma Brown tried to pour poison in Ben's ear and convince him that Kathy had lied and it wasn't rape, it was consensual, they were having an affair, she just never admitted it. It was like a Jedi mind trick. Like we talked about him being like in Cloud City. I felt a bit brainwashed. Like I came away from that scene going, yes, Wilma Brown's lovely. He's
Did
the
you
nicest.
question him yourself? You're now pro Wilma Brown.
I'm going to work for Wayland. I'm going to be doing spreadsheets with Fee.
Well, I find it quite hard really with Kathy because she seems to be giving out mixed messages. Not in terms of the rape thing, obviously.
No, yes.
But when she was saying to Ben about Luke, she said...
Because he wanted to dump him because he couldn't get over what his dad had done.
At that point, she said to him, you know, like, oh, that's what they're like. They're all smooth on the outside, and then they've got like a dark heart.
Yeah. Underneath, they're really mean.
But anyway, I don't want to break up your relationship, so I'll move.
Yes, I don't want to. Why don't you stick with this guy who I'm telling you is probably a bit like his dad and some evil psycho? Yeah, what is Kathy really wanting to communicate there?
I'm hoping that gets made a bit more apparent in the weeks to come. But anyway, on to Mr Pryce, who was turfed out of the square this week after fessing up about his kiss with Becks. Now, it seems to me a bit of a clearing of the decks, this, for me, because last week we had Nosebleed Tom,
Stalker Tom, please get his name right.
Exactly, ousted, and now the same thing with Gethin.
Yes, very quickly.
It feels that the pair will never, ever be mentioned again.
No, as if they never existed, perhaps. Yes, it was dealt with very swiftly, I felt. And perhaps there was more to come from that storyline, perhaps there wasn't, and they've changed their minds behind the scenes. We'll never know.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because, you know, you would have thought that they could have reported both people to the police had they chosen to.
Yeah.
But it's either they didn't want to take that storyline on board this way to make them exit stage left.
Yeah, although then Tom is out there, I think Tom is out there having some ITV drama where he's stalking Joanne Froggatt or something. and what's Gethin going to do? Like, Gethin had this really inappropriate moment with the pupil. These people have been let loose by the residents of Walford. Maybe there's a spin-off. Maybe that's what we don't know. There's a whole spin-off of, you know, Walford Psychos.
That's never going to happen. No. But I think we're supposed to forget about it because we had that handy wipe from, you know, when it turned from night to day. Halloween lasted a week.
It did.
But yet we got 2 days for the price of one.
Amazing.
On Tuesday.
And then the clocks went forward or back the other week, so that really confused. I think this is the start of time travel in Walford, don't you? So yeah, Halloween lasted a week. We went from, you know, we lost 12 hours in one handy edit this week. Maybe it will be 5 years in the future on a flash forward this time next Tuesday, who knows?
Film it on the spaceship.
Yes, I'd love that, definitely, yeah.
And the other storyline of the week also was Mick Carter trying to raise money to save the Queen Vic
Wonga
with the use of his totaliser.
Totaliser.
You didn't actually say totaliser, we're just saying it.
We're saying it because it looked very much like the Blue Peter Christmas Appeal totalisers. Do you remember those? Do they still have those?
I think they do.
They did have them, if you're of a certain age and you would remember. So that totaliser they had on the wall in the Vic really reminded me of like Christmas time, watching telly and having Janet Ellis going, sending your milk bottle tops or your old keys or...
Well, I mean, Honey's like coming up with this safari supper idea. I think what they need to do is actually have a bring and buy sale.
Oh, a Blue Peter bring and buy sale.
Yeah,
in the community centre.
Winston can bring all his old records.
All his vinyl, that'd be great. Oh, yeah, there could be some fruit and veg from the store.
Yeah.
Some Minute Mart stuff that's gone out of date, perhaps.
Take all the tins to the pensioners. Well, that's Harvest Festival.
That's Harvest Festival. That's not Blue Peter Christmas. No. Yeah, I think, and also maybe they could do some. Blue Peter could get involved. Maybe Peter Purvis could come and do a shift in the Vic.
I think Biddy Baxter should be revealed to be Shirley's posh sister.
A new showrunner of EastEnders.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's in charge of Wayland.
Yes, the shadowy head.
She is, you know, pulling Wilma Brown's strings. But yeah, I think the Queen Vic could learn a lot from Blue Peter's appeals because they've saved lives and raised money, and that's what the Vic needs.
Well, join us next week to find out if Mick is struggling with an Advent crown. Join us for another week in Walford.